A nuclear bombshell has just rocked the hip-hop and love industries, one who leaves admirers dumbfounded. Social media is totally crumbling and business is prospering after years of highs and lows, disputes and ideas that characterize drama on reality TV. After leaving Chrissy Lampkin, Jim Jones allegedly entered Brooke Bailey's arms right away. Yes, you heard correctly. The man who centered his reality TV plot around his engagement to Chrissy has now revealed an unexpected development. Fans who believed that Jim and Chrissy were finally building a strong bond are suddenly confronted with a startling reality: Brooke Bailey's attitude and her memorable tenure on basketball. Wives are largely responsible for the end of the Jim and Chrissy era. The story drastically changed as pictures, purported communications, and insider information emerged. Initially, the rumors were quiet. Was Jim always going to go? Was Chrissy ready for this treachery? Or did Jim end a relationship that many thought was unshakable because of Brooke Bailey? This is not your typical tale of hip-hop and love. The civilization is being torn apart by this betrayal, which has been growing for decades. Because of the significant impact that Chrissy Lampkin's departure for Brooke Bailey had on society, it is difficult to comprehend why Jim Jones left. We must go back in time and examine the decades of events leading up to this shocking catastrophe. Please be aware that the divorce was difficult. This was the demise of a well-known reality TV project. Let's begin with Chrissy and Jim. One of the longest-running stories in hip-hop and reality TV history is their romance. Fans have followed Chrissy's highs and lows, like a soap opera, since she was originally revealed in the early 2000s as the fierce, harsh girlfriend of Die-Pet's own Jim Jones. Chrissy was not just Jim's friend, but also his backbone, stylist, and anchor. Furthermore, their relationship became the main focus of hip-hop and love. When it first surfaced in 2011, do you recall how Chrissy's proposal to Jim changed everything? A moment that startled fans and created a stir in the entertainment industry. It was empowering for many. It was messy, according to others. However, one thing was for sure: the rules of reality TV love had just been rewritten by Chrissy and Jim. But years of suffering lay beneath the glamour and the offers. Fans witnessed everything. Jim was accused of not being ready to settle down. Chrissy seemed to desire more commitment than he was prepared to provide, and they were always at arguments regarding marriage. Will they or won't they implement their plan? The Cliffers made appearances in multiple seasons and spin dash-offs. It developed into more than a romantic partnership. It was an obsession in the culture. Over the previous few years, it was getting harder to ignore the fractures. Jim and Chrissy continued to appear as a group. Insiders whispered that their romance had come to a standstill both on and off screen. According to some, Chrissy was sick of waiting for her marriage to happen. Some said Jim couldn't fully commit since he had one foot in the industry and one foot in the streets. Brooke Bailey walks in. Basketball Wives viewers are familiar with Brooke. Brooke's unique brand of drama took her to VH1. Being aggressive, unavoidable, and vocal. She was renowned for her tough exterior and confidence, and she wasn't scared to express her opinions or argue with co-stars on television. Off-screen, she established herself as a successful model and businesswoman who knew how to maintain her reputation. Consequently, there were allegations that Brooke Bailey was connected to Jim Jones. There are rumors that Brooke and Jim were seen together. Amiable discussion that felt like it went on too long. Fans initially dismissed it as a coincidence. They both follow the same VH1 circles. After all, they are both familiar with the producers. They had both played the reality game before. Then the purported receipts showed up. Recordings of late-night direct talks that were making the rounds on gossip blogs. Pictures of what seemed to be a private dinner between Jim and Brooke. And insiders who said Chrissy was upset behind the scenes because she was taken aback by how close Jim and Brooke had allegedly grown. It immediately had an impact on culture. Chrissy and Jim were regarded as the first blueprint couples of hip-hop and love for a very long time. It was reportedly more than just messy to see Jim give up that legacy and let another VH1 star take control. This level of betrayal was beyond the fans' comprehension. Remember, this is not the first time. External issues have hampered Chrissy and Jim's relationship. Jim has been the subject of allegations of adultery and extramarital affairs. Chrissy was steadfast in her resolve to keep their relationship going. To publicly messily and live stream her for Brooke Bailey, however, felt like the ultimate lie. Because of Chrissy's values, the betrayal was particularly severe. She was not merely Jim's pal, she was the one that collaborated with him, gave up all for him, and declined chances to be by his side. Despite the fact that Jim wasn't always in favor of her, fans recall Chrissy vehemently defending Jim's name throughout her conflicts with her She was the epitome of loyalty, which appears to have been broken. Brooke Bailey, on the other hand, has accepted the limelight. She is renowned for never giving up and doesn't back down from controversy. While some admirers insist that Jim was the one pursuing her, others think she knew precisely what she was getting into. I sensed that Chrissy's patience had run out when I saw a blazing intensity in Brooke, which is why her betrayal is so shocking. It goes beyond romanticism. One of the ladies whose legacy is under jeopardy is the devoted Ride Dardai, who dedicated decades of her life to Jim and Brooke, the independent, brave character of reality that takes pleasure in making an impact. Since it is now asserted that Jim selected Brooke, the story has entirely shifted. Since love is more public than private in the realm of reality TV, it appears that the man who looked unable of giving Chrissy his whole attention has chosen to leave her for someone else, which is a betrayal. In our culture, amnesia and forgiveness are challenging. Additionally, Jim's revelation has sparked the greatest dispute in one hip-hop genre's history: longest-lasting relationships. The internet went bananas when it was revealed that Jim Jones had supposedly dumped Chrissy Lampkin for Brooke Bailey. After more than 10 years of following Jim and Chrissy's turbulent relationship, fans were unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. There was more to it than just his absence. He left her behind in favor of this person. There has always been struggle and forgiveness in Chrissy and Jim's love story. This kind of poisonous fairy tale is what reality TV is all about. However, things were different this time. According to insiders, it was more than just a brawl. There was more to this cooling off time. The last dot was this one. The argument had been building for several months. According to those close to the marriage, according to reports, Chrissy confronted Jim about his wandering eye and brought up his increasing connection with Brooke Bailey. According to one report, Chrissy discovered notes that were overly polite. Jim dismissed her when she brought it up. It's business. It is said that he informed her. Chrissy didn't like the idea that she was only a buddy. It became one of the couple's most heated arguments as the argument intensified. I built this with you, and you think you can walk away for some basketball wife? Chrissy allegedly said. He didn't yell in response to his usual calm, but his silence spoke more than words could. Then the shocking moment arrived. Jim and Brooke Bailey were reportedly seen leaving a posh restaurant in KLA. It's just the two of them. Not the two of you, not together. The pictures soon appeared on blogs when paparazzi spotted them getting into a black SUV together. The captions were crucial: Brooke in the passenger seat, Chrissy at home. The catalyst was the emergence of social media. Jim was accused of mistreating Chrissy by fans, and the suspicions turned into yells. Brooke Bailey became the leading lady after Jim Jones. The tale takes its first unexpected turn at this moment. Online, screenshots started to circulate. All of Brooke and Jim's direct messages from several months ago are shown. "You deserve happiness," said one person. Brooke seemed to write, "Don't let loyalty keep you trapped." Jim shot back, "Ah, you understand me better than anyone, whether real or fake," with a heart emoji. The comments went viral right away, and followers took them seriously. Jim's departure from Chrissy wasn't the only issue. It seems like Brooke has been quietly persuading him to break up with the woman who had supported him for many years. A woman who had supported him for decades said in a whisper. Twitter was unforgiving. Is Brooke truly telling Jim not to stay with Chrissy in this circumstance? No. That is ridiculous. Chrissy should have been married instead of being duped. The biggest clown in hip-hop history is Jim. Brooke has always been untidy. However, she was once the antagonist. The antagonists used to be her and Chrissy. Her response was devastating. She didn't go live. She did not return the applause. Rather, she shared a mysterious dark-screened Instagram story. Silence can sometimes be more powerful than words. In the comments area, supporters pleaded with her to break up with Jim. Eternally. Others tagged her with heartbroken emojis to convey their dismay at the treatment she had experienced. However, insiders said Chrissy was not happy behind the scenes. Because of a friend's leak, Chrissy allegedly threw Jim's belongings out of their Miami house and told him not to return. Another said, "They made my life into a show." And now she shared a stunning photo of herself online with the remark, unapologetic, no names, no context, implying that Chrissy was thinking of leaving the love and hip-hop franchise completely. While Brooke Bailey appeared uninterested, "I'm the idiot once more," she said, although everyone knew who she was referring to. Jim's reckless behavior in public and with the person Chrissy thought was related to the VH1 family is one of the story's main surprises. Aside from his abandonment of Chrissy. It was more than simply betrayal for Chrissy. It was a humiliating experience. Insiders claim that producers at VH1 and WET TV, two networks that have documented Jim and Chrissy's relationship, are finding it difficult to capture the consequences. According to rumors, cameras are already moving in an attempt to get exclusive footage of Jim's new relationship with Brooke and Chrissy's response. If this is accurate, Chrissy's most traumatic experience could become the next big thing on reality TV. Bonanza. There have been major cultural repercussions. The most crucial question is how long this has been going on. For fans who saw Chrissy as the embodiment of loyalty, the woman who supported her lover no matter what, this betrayal seems personal. For others, it's proof of what they've always thought Jim Jones would never do. The plot has entirely shifted because of the twist. Did Brooke stop Jim from marrying Chrissy? Did he keep her on board for more than 10 years? Did he have another choice in his back pocket? In a single headline, Jim has transformed from a seasoned reality TV star to a villain, and Chrissy is more than just a disrespectful woman. She's a representation of what happens when loyalty and betrayal collide on the largest possible scale. However, there are rumors that Chrissy won't be remaining. So if you think the narrative ends here, you should think twice, because she has receipts that could make Jim and Brooke regret their actions. Fans who believe that Jim Jones, Chrissy Lampkin and Brooke Bailey's issues couldn't get any worse have been proven wrong the next week. What had begun as rumors and paparazzi photos turned into a massive cultural earthquake when Chrissy finally spoke up, and it was in typical Chrissy fashion. The first stage was a shocking Instagram Live, with Chrissy on camera, and she didn't hold back. She didn't specifically mention Brooke or Jim, but it was clear from what she said that her words cut through the discourse like a dagger, while maintaining a composed look. More than 100,000 people watched the live stream in a couple of minutes, and it speaks more about him than about me. When you create a man's house, business and reputation from the ground up, and he chooses to leave for someone who just crossed the finish line. When her live stream was flooded with comments like "say his name Chrissy and we know who you're talking about," along with fire emojis and broken hearts, bloggers were recording every second. Twitter Spaces started analyzing every word. But Chrissy wasn't done yet. She concluded her live stream with one of the scariest teases. Sometimes people's falsehoods are so damaging that you just let them burn themselves. Receipts can be amusing. You don't always need to display them. The internet was furious over just one line. Did Chrissy have screenshots, images, or more detailed evidence of Jim and Brooke's relationship? Everyone was waiting. Then, as if on cue, the first startling revelation surfaced when a rumor website purportedly uploaded hotel invoices proving Jim Jones had reserved a lavish room in Los Angeles, but the reservation stated Brooke Bailey +1. Twitter went bananas when the veracity of the receipts demonstrated that Jim and Brooke were more than just friends. They were living together, traveling, and finding housing as though they were already a relationship. I pray for Jim if Chrissy has documentation, since Brooke is already being exposed. Jim didn't simply walk away from Chrissy. He made Brooke a wife overnight. Hotel receipts? No, this is no longer speculation. This is betrayal. In response, Brooke Bailey shared a stunning photo of herself, wearing a silk dress with the caption, "Don't hate me for choosing happiness. You should despise yourself for continuing to be unhappy." The quantity of fuel was ideal for the fire. Fans dragged her right away. Home destroys, not happiness. This is Chrissy's punishment for giving Jim her life. But there were also those writers who stood up for Brooke. Chrissy has been waiting for a ring for over 10 years. Brooke is not a villain because she wants to get better. Industry experts started to weigh in as the fan battle went on. When Yandy Smith sent the offensive tweet, "History repeats itself when people don't learn," fans of Love and Hip Hop instantly associated it with Chrissy's recollections of their infamous fights. Cambella, another Love and Hip Hop alum, commented on a Shadroom post, "Don't overlook karma." That comment alone garnered a lot of likes. Messy, messy, messy. According to Safri, the industry wasn't merely observing. Instead, it was taking sides, and those sides were vocal. But then came the second shocking discovery. There were allegedly leaked texts between Jim and Brooke that had nothing to do with love or romance. They are related to money. The texts appeared to be written by Jim. "I'll add cash to your queue. We've left. Verify your sexual orientation. Don't worry about the texts. Turn the story around. Chrissy, she'll be fine." Brooke allegedly responded, "That's why I rock with you. You see me." It was more than just love. It had to do with business. In addition to leaving Chrissy for Brooke, Fans conjectured that Jim was investing time, money, and effort into creating Brooke's enterprise in the same manner that Chrissy had created his. Chrissy's fans went crazy after learning that, after she constructs Jim for 15 years, he gives Brooke the foundation. Horrible for others, it was karma. Chrissy's time was spent arguing with everyone over Jim. She is now the one who is left behind. Jim was uncannily silent the entire time. No posts, no lives, no interviews. The rumors were only stoked by his silence. Was he concealing himself? Was he at fault? Or was he holding out on sharing his side of the story until the right time? The cliffhanger didn't stop there, though a blog hinted at a third leak of video late one evening. Their caption alone sent fans into a tailspin even if they didn't reveal it. Everything will change when you see Jim and Brooke on camera. Are you not prepared? Tomorrow at 6 o'clock social media was in disarray in a matter of minutes. #Chrissy and other hashtags deserve better. #Jim speaks next and #Brooke exposed became a global trend. The hours were counted down by fans. Industry insiders murmured that if the film was authentic, it might ruin Jim's legacy forever. And gossip channels planned emergency live streams. Audio samples, images, and hotel reservations can always be rejected because receipts are one thing. However, video is truthful. Furthermore, Jim Jones wouldn't simply be abandoning Chrissy Lampkin if that tape were to surface. He would be interviewing himself, Brooke, and her. By the time the purported hotel receipts and leaked texts appeared online, the controversy had become unavoidable. A tangled love triangle was no longer the only aspect of the Jim Jones-Chrissy Lampkin-Brooke Bailey scandal. A full-blown cultural catastrophe has resulted. Reactions flooded social media feeds. Debates among fans burned like wildfire. Celebrities who had previously been silent were now taking sides. The story was told by the hashtags on Twitter. #Chrissy was worthy of better. The hashtags on Twitter, #Chrissy was worthy of better. At the same time, the hashtags #JimDoneDirty and #BRKDisorganized became popular. Fans who had spent more than 10 years watching Jim and Chrissy were not just let down. They were incensed. Chrissy wasted 15 years waiting for marriage and Jim gave the ring to somebody else. Brooke ain't the villain, Jim is, said one of the widely shared tweets. Another admirer responded, Chrissy had her opportunity. Let Jim survive if he is content with Brooke. Editors on TikTok juxtaposed the paparazzi images of Jim and Brooke leaving that LA restaurant with Chrissy's heartfelt proposal from years ago. From yes to this, the captions were ruthless. Brooke simply stepped into the finished result, while others stitched Chrissy's recent Instagram live with commentary as if she had created him from the ground up. Within hours, the changes received millions of views, making Chrissy a symbol of pain and loyalty once more. However, what truly exposed this narrative were the celebrity responses. This story was blown wide open on Instagram. Yandi Smith, who memorably argued with Chrissy on Love and Hip Hop, shared a mysterious statement. People always reveal themselves to you. The first time, believe them. Yandi was pulled by fans right away, who claimed that she had made fun of Chrissy when she was upset. More than 10,000 people liked Camilla Vanderheim's comment under the Shadroom post. Karma works in silence, then screams when it's ready. Fans debated whether Camilla was disparaging Chrissy Brooke or both. 50 Cent, who never fails to cause trouble, reposted the while industry supporters rallied around her. The paparazzi photo of Jim and Brooke with the caption, "This Jamie Wilden Power Book Home Records coming soon" garnered nearly 1 million views overnight, turning the scandal into meme fodder. Emily B posted a heart emoji under her Instagram story, and To Hear Jose, another veteran of Love and Hip Hop, wrote, "Women like Chrissy don't lose, they level up." That comment alone fueled speculation that Chrissy was already planning her own calm connections. His comments were bombarded by fans. The comparisons between Pap and Jim became harsh, portraying Papoose as the obedient king and Jim as the disloyal criminal. Pap would never do Remy like this. Take notes. Jimmy. The consequences for the industry didn't end at social criticism. There were rumors that VH1 producers were rushing. Executives allegedly held urgent meetings to discuss how to spin this controversy for hip-hop and romance. They see the ratings. According to one source, they had been praying for a storyline involving Chrissy, Jim, and Brooke. However, Chrissy is refusing to shoot since if it's true, she feels embarrassed. The H1 might have to choose between losing one of its most recognizable stars and going gold in the ratings. Brooke Bailey, meanwhile, leaned into the confusion. Smiling, she went live while drinking wine while thousands of people pleaded with her to reveal. Unbothered was all she said. While ending a 15-year relationship, fans immediately dragged her, without bothering her. Connection. Others applauded her audacity and referred to her as the villain reality TV desperately needs. Jim's silence became more audible. Fans became more certain that the rumors were real. The longer he remained silent as the internet burned, memes likened him to a man holed up in a bunker. Blog conjectured that he was awaiting the ideal bag, implying that might speak up in a sponsored interview or on a reality TV show. Then, there were conspiracies by fans using the well-timed disclosures and Brooke's apparent indifference as evidence. Others said the entire controversy was staged for ratings. Others insisted it was genuine, citing the hotel invoices and Chrissy's unfiltered passion. According to a third faction, if a video actually dropped, it would definitively demonstrate that this was not a show with a script. In 400, this deception was discovered. There was no denying the cultural divide. Chrissy was a symbol of tradition and loyalty for older supporters, a woman who stood by her relationship no matter what. Brooke was a symbol of independence and fresh vitality for younger fans. Regardless of the criticism, a lady was not scared to assert her rights. Jim, who was caught between them, ended up being the antagonist in both stories. However, the countdown was no longer limited to reactions. It was for the blog teased video release. Odd teased video release.